Guys, welcome to my channel. It is Christian here. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. So today I'm bringing you another installment of Foundation Friday, and today we are testing out a new foundation that is brand spanking new to the market. It is the Natasha Denona Foundation X. This particular foundation claims to be full coverage. It claims to have a radiant finish, and it does come in 11 shades. Now, this foundation did launch last week on Sephora's website. I know that Natasha Denona is available at Sephora and Beautylish. I'm not sure if this is available at Beautylish yet, but I picked mine up from Sephora. So like always, we're going to wear this foundation throughout the entire day. We're going to see how it wears, how it holds up. And at the end of the day, like always, at the end of the day, I'm going to come back with you guys. I'm going to tell you what my final thoughts are. We're going to do check-ins throughout the day so you guys can kind of see how things are wearing, kind of see how things are looking. I love filming these videos. I love testing out foundations. I love trying to find my holy grail, top of the line, best foundations for my skin type. And if this is the first time you are watching one of my videos, I do have dry, slightly combo skin. It is very sensitive. I do have a lot of redness and I do have a lot of breakouts on my skin. If that sounds familiar, or if any of that is what you are struggling with, then I will link my playlist down below so you can check out all of the Foundation Fridays I have done. Maybe you can find your holy grail foundation with this series, which is basically what I'm trying to do as well. So yeah guys, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you head out. If you're not new to my channel, you guys, welcome back. Thank you for continuing to join and support. And if you want to see how this new Natasha Denona foundation wears throughout the day, then you are definitely in the right place. And let's go ahead and see how this foundation works out. Alright guys, so today we are trying out the Natasha Denona Foundation X Full Coverage Fruit Complex Foundation. And this does retail for $45 and it does come in 11 different shades. The shade ranges from number 10, which is classified as the neutral fair shade. Deepest shade in the collection is number 90. It says it's for dark skin with more of a orangish yellow undertone. So 11 shades in total. It does retail for 45 bucks. And I did purchase mine from the Sephora website the day that it came out. I want to say that this foundation released exactly 1 week ago today. And it has really classic packaging, kind of like Natasha Denona, with a white cap. It has a frosted bottle. Let's see. It does come with a pump. There is also the standard 1 fluid ounce of product. It is a full coverage foundation, and it does say that it works for all skin types. So sensitive skin, dry skin, oily skin, combination skin. Most of the time when foundations claim to work for everyone, there's usually somebody it doesn't work for. But we're going to test it out and we're going to see today. Okay, so I just quickly pulled up Sephora.com and it says that this is a long-lasting full coverage radiant foundation. So if you have dry skin, if you have problematic skin, full coverage radiant, I'm all the way here for it. As you guys know, I do have pretty bad breakouts and my skin does tend to be a little bit more on the drier side. It says that it does not set into fine lines. Okay, Natasha, we'll see. But it leaves the skin with a naturally radiant, flawless finish. It says that Foundation X is a full coverage fruit complex, never looks thick, dry, or cakey on your skin. The full coverage foundation is infused with special ingredients. I don't know what these special ingredients are, but okay. Special ingredients that help balance the T-zone area and absorb excess oils on the skin. It is formulated to support anti-aging, and its purification properties help defend against pollution. It is paraben-free, sulfate-free, and it also says that the product is also cruelty-free. So I did pick mine up in the shade number 20, which number 20 says that it's light beige with yellow undertones, and I don't think that this is going to be a good color match for me, but I bought this the day that it came out and there were no swatches online. I'm kind of nervous that this is going to be a little too light for me, but the next shade up says that it was number 30 light medium with orange undertones, and I was like, no, that's not right. So I went ahead and went with number 20. So hopefully this does work for me. If you are new to Foundation Friday, basically what I do is I do half of my face with a brush, half of my face with some type of beauty sponge, and just to kind of see which application provides better. Nothing on my skin as of right now, just my moisturizers, my serums. I have not even applied primers yet, and just so you guys know, I do like to color correct and I do like to conceal because like I mentioned, I do have a lot to cover up, but I do all of that after the fact because I want you guys to see how the foundation stands on its own, how it covers on its own. Today I'm going to go in with 2 different primers. I'm going to go in with the Natasha Denona Face Glow Primer, and it says that this is a hydrating underbase, and then because I do have larger pores right here in this region, I am going to take a little bit of the Benefit Professional only right here to kind of minimize the appearance of my pores, and then we'll go in with the foundation, guys. All right, guys, primer is on. I zoomed you guys in a little bit closer. Today we're gonna be using my Morphe M439 and then my L'Oreal Beauty Sponge. I noticed that every time, and this is not a big deal, but just for reference, every time I take the cap off, the pump itself gets a little bit loose. It does say to shake well before use. You don't hear anything. It says shake well before use, but it doesn't sound liquidy. Actually, the foundation match might be okay. It does have a bit of a scent. This half of my face with the brush, this half of my face with the beauty sponge. I'm gonna switch brushes because this brush does not appear to be doing the best of jobs. I'm gonna try to switch over to my Sigma F80. I kind of feel like the foundation is just moving around. It's not actually sinking into my skin. If you guys can see that, it's not really sinking into the skin. It's just really kind of moving around. So it could be the brush. So let's kind of, yeah, that's better. This brush is a little bit better. Two things I can tell you out the gate: if it's a full coverage foundation, it's buildable. It is not full coverage like the way that the Double Wear would be, or the Kat Von D Locket, or the Urban Decay All Nighter. It's not that kind of full coverage. It's a full coverage you would have to build up, because you can still see all of my acne scarring and all of my active breakouts right down here. Another thing, it says that it is a radiant finish. I don't think so. I don't really think it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and take what's left on the back of my hand. This was, I believe, like a pump and a half, and then we're gonna try to build this up a little bit. So once I applied that second, like the rest of the foundation that was on the back of my hand, I do think that it did kind of do a pretty decent job. I do have foundations that do a better job covering up my breakouts, but that's nothing a little bit of concealer won't fix. I mean, my pores look pretty decent. So my pore area, this is my pore area, so it doesn't sink into pores too badly. Now we're gonna go over to the beauty sponge side. I don't think it's a radiant finish at all, and that's because I use like a hydrating underbase, and I apply a lot you know, of serums and things to my face to make sure it stays hydrated throughout the day. And I don't think it's super I feel like it gives off more of a matte finish than a radiant finish, in my opinion. Hopefully you guys can see that on camera. My skin does look pretty matte. So we're gonna go ahead now and work on this side with the sponge. It definitely blends in faster with the sponge, and it looks a little bit more flawless with the sponge, as far as like there being no streaks and things like that, the way there kind of was with the brush. However, and I applied the exact same amount of foundation, I think I like it better with the brush. I feel like the sponge did not do as much coverage. You can still pretty much see all of the breakouts on my skin right now. It didn't really cover. What I'm gonna do is, because I don't want things to get too cakey, see the lid, every time you take the lid off, it kind of, so you might have to be careful how you store this. So I'm gonna take one more pump, and then I'm just gonna kind of build it up in my cheek area. I'm gonna keep it away from the center of my face as best as I can, because that's where I get a little bit, the dryness really starts showing through first. So I'm gonna keep it away from that area and just kind of build it out back here. It does look a little bit more luminous with the sponge than it does with the brush. All right, you guys, so that is pretty much all of the foundation that I'm going to apply onto the skin. You guys can kind of see, I wouldn't say that it's full coverage. I would say that it's like a heavy medium, but not quite full, in my opinion, or at least for my skin type. If you have less acne scarring, less redness on your skin, this probably would be a full coverage foundation for you. If you have more problematic skin like I do, I wouldn't say that this is full coverage for that particular skin type. Another claim of this foundation is that it is a lightweight foundation, that you can't feel it on your skin. I can tell that there's foundation on my skin. It doesn't feel super tacky, so you might not have to set it if you didn't want to. It doesn't appear to be settling into my pores very heavily, so we'll see. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup off camera, and then I will come back and kind of let you guys know what I'm thinking about it as of right now. Right now I'm kind of like, it's not changing my world, you know what I mean? It's not changing my whole life, but let me go ahead and finish everything else. It is currently 11:40 and I sat down and started filming probably at about 11:15. So I will be back as soon as all of the rest of my makeup is in place. All right guys, and I am back. It is currently 12:49. So far, I do like the foundation. My only gripe with the foundation as of right now, there are two. The first one, this foundation is not a radiant finish. It is more of a matte finish. If I'm looking super glowy and super radiant, that's because I went in with luminizing products to kind of give a little bit of life back to my skin. And it is not full coverage right out of the gate. I feel like it should have been labeled as like a medium buildable or medium full, because it is not a full coverage foundation. Again, it could be a full coverage foundation if you're battling less issues than I am. But if you have similar skin to me, or maybe even worse skin than I do, then this is not gonna give you like that full coverage. I did have to go in and spot conceal to kind of cover up the redness a little bit more. So those are the only two issues that I did have with the foundation at this particular moment. As of right now, it definitely does not look like it has oxidized on my skin. So basically what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna zoom you guys in a little bit closer so that way we can check out the foundation. You guys can kind of see how things are wearing on my skin. Overall, nothing looks too bad. My pores don't look overly accentuated. My fine lines don't look overly accentuated. Everything looks evened out. Everything looks pretty good. So far I do like the foundation as of right now. When I first started applying it, I was a little bit worried, but it looks pretty good on the skin. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of zoom you guys in so that way you can kind of see how everything is looking, and then I will check back in with you guys in a few hours. All right guys, so I've kind of zoomed in a little bit, and then I will still get a little bit closer to the camera as well so you guys can kind of see how things look. So this is the foundation. This is the side that we did with the brush. And this is the side that we used the beauty sponge with. Overall, I feel like I'm having a pretty decent makeup day. I went super simple on the eyes because I just don't feel like doing them. But everything else looks pretty good. I love the way the bronzer applied over the foundation. I love the way the highlight looks. I love just the way everything kind of sat nicely on top of the foundation. I did end up going in with a little bit of powder because I noticed when I first was about to apply the bronzer that it did look a little bit patchy. So I kind of did go over the areas where I bronzed to kind of make sure that everything was set down into place. So just be forewarned about that. Even though it didn't feel like it needed to be set, just to help your powders apply over top, I would apply a light layer of powder just to kind of help with that. But I mean, overall, I do think that everything looks pretty good, you guys. All right, you guys, so that is currently how I'm feeling about the foundation, and I will see you guys in a couple of hours. Bye. All right, guys, and I am back. It is currently 4:53, and to be completely honest, I have no idea what time I sat down and started filming this video. I want to say it's probably been about 5 hours since I sat down and did my first check-in after my makeup was completely done, I think. I don't know. But anyway, so the way I feel about the foundation is it definitely, I mean, I still like it. One interesting thing that I noticed, and it could just be me, but I'm looking at, like when I look in the mirror, I'm noticing that my pores look a lot better now. At first it kind of just looked the same, that my pores look a lot better on the side with the Beauty Blender versus the side that has the brush. Like I feel like my pores look a lot smoother on this side, and they're looking a little bit more accentuated on that side. That could just be me. That might just be me. But I just feel kind of like it is, like they are. Other than that, nothing has really broken down. Everything still looks pretty decent on the skin. There is no visible dry patches that I can really notice. My fine lines aren't like around my mouth right here are not super out of control. Everything pretty much still kind of looks the way that it did when I first applied the foundation. I will say that it looks a little bit more luminous now. Like it's not as matte feeling or matte looking as well as it was when I first put it on. So I feel like it's one of those foundations that you kind of have to maybe like break in for a couple of hours before it really starts to like work for you. But I think it's pretty good. I mean, I like it so far, you guys. Not bad at all. Yeah, so I'll kind of zoom you guys in really quickly so you can kind of see what we're working with. And guys, so this is a little bit closer up, and we'll zoom in super so y'all can be all up in my business, but that's just a little bit closer to the camera. You can still see that everything does still look nice. Everything does appear to still be wearing really nicely. So what is this? I want to say maybe like 5 hours of wear, probably around there. Not bad. It's usually around hour 7, 8 where things start getting a little like sketch. So I will check back in with you guys in a couple of hours. So yeah, guys, I think that the foundation is still holding up pretty nicely for the amount of time that it has been on my skin. So yes, guys, I will see you back in a couple of hours. Bye. Okay, guys, and I am back. It is 9:09, so I've had this foundation on for a good 8 hours now, roughly around 8-9 hours. And as I suspected, it was good until about hour like 7. Then it just kind of turned into like a lot of oil in my T-zone, which tends to be where I do get more oily. The rest of my face is very, very dry. So I will say this, that if you have oily skin, I would proceed with caution. Like totally proceed with caution. If you have drier skin, because it has caused my skin to get a little bit more dewy, and by dewy I mean oily throughout the day, then it might be okay for you. But you just might want to be cautious of the primers that you use, because I did go in with like a lot of hydrating primers. So that could have been why my skin got so oily throughout the day, because it did look so nice, you guys, up until I hit, you know, about hour 6.5, 7, and that's when things started to break apart and move around. That's when things just got really not good. So this is a foundation, maybe, I mean, if you're looking for a foundation just to wear out for a couple of hours to have like a flawless base, you know, if you're just going out with friends or out to dinner or something like that, then this might work for you. I wouldn't say that it is a long wearing foundation. If you're wanting to wear it to your 8, 9, 10 hour workday, it's probably not the one for you. As a recreational use foundation, this might be a good one for you. I don't know that I would consider it like my everyday full on foundation because of the way that it has broken up throughout the day, and things did start to get a little bit on the cakey side in my more troublesome areas, which I guess is my T-zone, where my skin is a little bit more dry, which is everywhere else, around the perimeter of my forehead, my cheeks, and usually my chin is pretty dry as well, but today it got pretty oily. It's usually my forehead in between my eyebrows and like right here that does get a little bit more oily. I tend to get flakiness around the sides of my nose, but there is no visible dryness on my skin whatsoever, so I guess that's good. Maybe. You know, because foundations usually tend to get flaky on me, and they usually tend to break apart and get really dry. So I guess this foundation, if I had blotted throughout the day maybe a little bit, if I had applied a little bit of a heavier powder, or again, if I had gone with something a little less hydrating as a base, then it might have worked out a little bit better. So it's a foundation that I feel like the jury is still out on this one. It's not a hard no, but it's not a definite yes. But normally I'm pretty passionate about how I feel about a foundation, but this one I'm on the fence about. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys some up close and personal shots so you guys can kind of see that, and then we're gonna go ahead and bring this to a close. Alright guys, so hopefully you can kind of see how the foundation is breaking up a little bit on my chin, or on my forehead, and looking a little oily. You can see on my nose where the foundation is completely oily and is completely started to move around and come off. And then the same thing on my chin, the same thing on my cupid's bow. It got a little bit cakey in the cheeks from, I guess, all of the oil. I don't know, I feel like it's gonna be workable, so we'll see. Like I said, you guys stay tuned. If you do like these types of videos, you guys, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not already. I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.